I tried to be nice about saying no to Charles, but some men you can't be nice to. If you're polite, they think it means you're undecided. They hear your tone and ignore your words. It makes life a lot harder for the women, but I don't think a man like that notices. Oh God. This is why I'm alone. And I thought, yes, I agree. Alcohol is just fire and water. Never gonna have any children. No use making more people die. It's not in romance. These two girls right here, they had romances with men. They did not love them the way they loved each other. I don't know when this book review became about Nana, but next book I read, The Neighbor Favor, which I gave a 3 out of 5. I think it's getting dark. The only light that I'm getting is from my computer. See? I just turned it off, kinda. Sun is going down in a half hour. I mean, doesn't matter. Who cares? This review is pretty long. I guess I'll have this be the last one. Oh! I saw a lot of parallels with my life in this book. This book is messing with me. The MC's favorite book when she was a child was Ella Enchanted. Guess who else? There is a character named Yolanda and she lives on the 19th floor. Guess who else? The MC's bonded over text messages or emails. Guess who else? The MC lives in New York and is a natural hair black woman who loves books. Guess who else? She has a crush that she is afraid to approach and has trouble talking to. Guess who else? Well, back in the day, not now, but back in the day. Her crush is emotionally unavailable and afraid of commitment. That's what they was like. Okay. Did I write this book? There's so much of it. Come on. The Ella Enchanted and the name and the 19th floor and then the New York and the natural hair black woman who loved book. Come on, man. I was like, is this book about me? Did I write this book? And as I read more, I see the book is still messing with me. The crush's mom's name is Teresa. Guess whose middle name is Teresa? And it's spelled the same. The MCs met in a building that one of them lives in and the other has to constantly go to. Oh man, my battery is dying. I want to finish talking about that. The crush has a troubling relationship with his father. Come on, man. I wrote this book. Nah, it's not that I wrote the book. It's that humans are not that different, and we all technically, I mean, we're living under the same sun, the same solar system. We're gonna have similarities. We're basically going through the same university of emotions and human relations and things. Similar, not the same. Similar. Those are two different words. Not the same. Similar. So you're bound to see these things come up again and again. Did I write this book? One more. The MC's friends' names, initials RMW. Oh man. Yeah. This book is messing with me. This book is playing with me. Yeah, this book was playing with me. And it's that they pointed it out too. They pointed it out that his initials were MW. Why? Why'd you do that? Anyway, spoiler. Then it happened. And I knew that I definitely didn't write this. Yeah. Because it's always that one thing that happens in these books. And I'm just like, yeah, I would definitely not read this. It then went and decided to stop being unique and to be formulaic. So, the It That Happened, in case you're curious, was Nick, main character, admitted to lying to her, Lily, the other main character, after 2 months after first ghosting her. And she had sex with him 2 days later. I'm gonna read it again. He admitted to lying to her after 2 months after first ghosting her, and she has sex with him 2 days later. He admits to lying to her after 2 months of first ghosting her. He was lying to her for 2 months after He first ghosted her. And he ghosted her for a year. So, ghosted her for a year. Lied to her for 2 months. 2 days later, she has sex with him. Nope, I can't respect it. He didn't even take her on a date or anything. My respect for her went out the door, on top of the fact that she was literally drooling over him throughout the entire book. And I say drooling because the book said drooling. Twice. The book said that she was drooling, not me. I'll never understand this black male obsession from black women. Oh God. This is why I'm alone. Because black men don't like me because I'm not obsessed with them. And black women don't like me because I'm not obsessed with black men. This is why. Nobody likes me because I'm not obsessed with black men. Black women are obsessed with them. Her aunts, sisters, and mom were all obsessed with him when they just met him and didn't even know him. It's like all of their panties get wet when they see a black male, even when he says that he isn't shit. He belittles himself in the book and talks about how he doesn't deserve anything good. He says this about himself to people. And people are falling over themselves. Falling over themselves because a black man is in their house. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's like you're dehydrated. Go drink something. Like, I don't get it. Throughout the whole book, he's rejecting her and pushing her away. Yet she continues to chase him. It's pathetic. I'm tired of seeing black women portrayed this way. They're just sex-craved black male worshipers. Meanwhile, there is nothing to worship. Why am I going in like this? Oh, I was probably annoyed with the book. It was probably a lot of it. That's probably why I'm going in like this. It irritated me. And also her, Lily, constantly fiending for compliments. This is another thing I don't like that they do. This is what she would say. I look dumb, didn't I? Isn't my family annoying? She would say shit like that. Like, shut up. You are beautiful and your family is amazing. Stop fishing for validation from a man that is telling you that he isn't even good enough for you. This woman is stunning and her family is amazing. Like, her whole family is there for her. They're wonderful. They love her. They bond. All of this. And she's like, oh, I look stupid, right? Because she put on some costume and she looks like dope in the costume. She looks like Aaliyah or somebody in the costume. And she's like, I look dumb, right? Oh my God. And my family's obnoxious, right? My family, they're weird, right? And clearly looking for him to just like feed her compliments and just feed her attention and tell her, no, you look great, you're beautiful, like I love your family. Like, clearly looking for him to do that, and it makes you look thirsty, dehydrated, parched. Stop it. And this is not even like a man who's the equal of her, like this amazing man. He is a piece of shit. He even says it. He says that he ain't shit. And he was horrible to her. But she still, like, is putting him above her. It's ridiculous. Yeah, Maya Angelou, if somebody tells you who they are, believe them. He's telling you he isn't good enough for you. Believe him. I'm convinced that something is mentally wrong with black women. Or at least the black women that I keep seeing in media. There has to be something wrong with you to chase after somebody who is running away from you. Are you Jason? Are you Freddy? You're what? I finished it on August 2nd. These are my afterthoughts. It took me 10 hours to read. I listened to the last hour on 1.5 speed as I was in a hurry to finish. Yeah, I was like, get this out of here. I know that media is a way to escape life, but this didn't have to be so cheesy towards the end. I also didn't know that this was a 2023 book. It makes sense why everything was so current. It's not very timeless in that matter. Yeah, I thought I was reading something that came out in like 2016 or something, or 2018. But it came out in the year that I was reading it, last year. And I don't know. It just it felt in the moment. And like I said, the beginning of the book, it did remind me of me. So it was like, yeah, okay, I can definitely see this happening. But then it just turned pathetic for me. I felt sick for the girl in it. Changeling. Do I have time to do this? My camera's dying. I'll do this tomorrow. And the lighting is bad. Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. I got shit to do anyway. Bye. All right, I think we were left on the Changeling. Yeah, I think we completed that. Okay, the Changeling, I gave a 2 out of 5. I said this book was dragging, so I moved on to something else later in the month, and I'll get back to this in the fall. So that was July that I started, and I stopped in July, at the end of July. I was about 27% in. And then in April, I said, in April, I pulled this quote from the book that I liked. The quote goes, I tried to be nice about saying no to Charles, but some men you can't be nice to. If you're polite, they think it means you're undecided. They hear your tone and ignore your words. It makes life a lot harder for the women, but I don't think a man like that notices. At a certain point, I had to tell him clearly that I would not go out with him. I didn't actually put it that way. I said I had a boyfriend. I wish I had just said no. But it was hard to be that direct. Do you know what he did? He made me start coming into the office on Saturday mornings. He wasn't even there when I came in. It wasn't like he wanted to see me. He wanted to punish me. Interpret that as you will. I'll tell you my interpretation. Pretty much what she said. Mind you, the character is a woman, but this author is a man. A man wrote this book. So a man wrote this quote from a woman's perspective about another man, her boss. And yeah, it reminded me of back in the day when men used to say, if you don't want to go out with a guy, just tell him no. And women would do that, and the guy still wouldn't go away. It's like, we can't just say no. We have to be extra. We have to say, we have a boyfriend. We have 6 kids. We have a husband. We got to go in for him to go away. It reminded me of that. And the whole he wanted to punish me thing. It's like, once you have a man in power over like a woman and she rejects him, he abuses that power. So yeah. The problem with this character was that because she had to work Saturday morning, she couldn't be with her son, so she had to leave him alone. She couldn't get a babysitter for that time because it was just a specific time where nobody was available. So that's specifically why it was pointed out in the book that he purposefully chose at this time because he knew that it was a bad time for her. He knew she had a small son that she had to be with and all of that. So yeah, it was a punishment. You rejected me. How dare you turn me down? I'm going to get back at you, basically, because that was the only power he had over her. It just makes you not want to deal with people. And that's what I've experienced. Now, I've experienced that, but when I used to work outside, and I had to work with men, specifically men of my race, which is what this is a black woman talking about another black man. They always were horrible to me, just horrible. And it was always because they had an attraction to me and I didn't have that attraction back. And it's like, that's not my problem. It's really not my problem. So I finished it in September. Took 11 hours and 53 minutes. What did I say? This book tricked me. It started off really good and engaging, then veered off into fantasy. And we already know I don't like fantasy. Fantasy is not my cup of tea to read, only to watch. Yeah. Because it's just too complicated and complex. Reading about a tree that moves and seeing a tree that moves is is just different, you know. I immediately thought of Harry Potter. That's why I said a tree that moves. That's that scene in Harry Potter where the tree tried to beat up him and Ron. Yeah, fantasy is just better to watch, not really to read. I don't really care for it to read. Anyway, after I read this book, I found out that they actually had a show. They made a show for this book. And I said it down here in a comment. This isn't the first time this has happened. It happened before, back in 2013. Coincidentally, exactly 10 years ago. But I found out, not trying to, that this book is now a series on Apple Plus. I'll check it out, even though I disliked the book. I watched that series. It was terrible. I didn't like it at all. Yeah, this happened, I believe, with August Osage County. I read this book, and then right after I read it, the movie came out. The movie with Meryl Streep. Crazy to think that I've been using Goodreads for this long, but I don't feel like it's been that long. Once again, time. It just doesn't. I don't know where the time is going. Why is my nose so itchy? Next, we have Something Wicked This Way Comes, the authorized I can't talk. The Authorized Adaptation. 1 star. I think I read this, or I kind of read it because I didn't finish it, because I didn't want to read the actual book, or I couldn't find the actual book. So I read this is the graphic novel. Ray Bradbury's books are often unavailable. Like if I go to the library, they're always checked out. If I try to put them on hold, they hold for forever. Like things like that. So I just wanted to watch this because of the song, the Three Witches song. I don't feel like reciting it right now, but I was just interested, and yeah. So what did I say? I watched this in October. It was just perfect time for that. I gave up. I just don't like nor care for the content, and the writing style couldn't hold my attention. As mysterious as it is, I just don't care enough to understand or wait to see what happens. I tried to read this so many times, so many ways, excuse me. Audiobook, ebook, graphic novel, audiobook again with different narrators. It's clearly not for me. This is true. I remember this book has been narrated, the original book, not the graphic novel, has been narrated so many times by different people. I thought maybe I'm not liking it because I don't like this person's voice. Maybe I should try a different voice. And I found different versions of the audiobook with different people with different accents. I remember I heard a British man, a young man, an older man, you know, all these different. I was like, I don't like any of it. I don't like any of it. Not for me. Yeah, not much to say there. Oh, let's see what I said about the Changeling series. Oh, I didn't. I think I wrote it in my journal, my tracker. I don't really have much of an online life, so I can't really find what I think about series anywhere online because I don't really discuss series online. I used to on Tumblr. I don't really care about much of my online stuff nowadays. Okay, here's the other one. Here's the original version. So yeah, this was August. Gave this a 1 star. Alcohol, aka fire and water. They said that in the book, and I thought, yes, I agree. Alcohol is just fire and water. Chapter 9 was interesting. Never gonna have any children. No use making more people. People die. Never gonna have any children. No use making more people. People die. A little boy character said that in the book, and I agreed with that. I've never saw anyone move so fast while sleeping. The mother said that about her son. Warm blood, that's the story of all our sorrows. This was said in a Kaufman film in a different way, and it was, I have consciousness, therefore I suffer. I'm about to find that now, because I love that quote. Consciousness is a terrible curse. I think, I feel, I suffer. Charlie Kaufman said that, and being John Malkovich, the script that he wrote, the character John Cusack, the actor John Cusack said Charlie Kaufman's. There's so many men names. John Cusack, Charlie Kaufman, being John Malkovich. This quote was in that film. Consciousness is a terrible curse. I think, I feel, I suffer. In the book, Something This Way Comes, they say pretty much the same thing in a different way. Warm blood. That's the story of all our sorrows. As long as you're alive, you're gonna be sad. I stopped reading this around August 15th. I'll come back to it around fall. Yeah, so this was before I read the graphic novel. Next, we have Eve, another DNR. We're getting to the DNRs towards the end. So obviously this is a 1. I put that it was attempted because I couldn't bother with it. I'm pretty sure it was for kids. I'm not sure. But what did I say? I read chapter 1 and was bored, so I moved on. The dialogue is bland and mediocre. Part of me feels that this is for kids anyway. There's that. Sometimes my reading mood goes with the moon and the seasons, so clearly around the end of the year, my mood for reading evaporated, and I just didn't care to read. The Quiet Ones, oh God. Quiet Ones, 1 star. Another DNR. I read 15 pages and stopped. Around page 3, it started to feel elementary in the writing style, and around page 11, I started to notice the black male author energy / essence coming off of it. I researched the author's name and saw that I was right. Black male indeed. Sometimes you could just tell when it's them. They have a way about them where they degrade everything. They find a way to put degeneracy everywhere. And I think I say that. By the time I got to page 15, a very young black girl was talking about letting a grown man, black man, touch her inappropriately for money. And I was done. I was like, yeah, of course. Of course this is in the book. Of course it is. Because this is all we are. This is all we can be. This is all they ever see. It's just something degrading and degenerate to do to the women of your race. The women and girls of your race. I'm gonna read it again. By the time I got to page 15, a very young black girl was talking about letting, and I put letting in quotes, letting a grown black man touch her inappropriately for money. I don't know what it is about these males, but it seems like degeneracy is deep-seated in them. I'm not reading this trash. Yeah. So that's how I felt about that. Next. I think that's the last one. Yep, that was the last one, because Real Men Knit, I spoke about already. It was the last book I read. It wasn't really... I'm actually going to look for some other books that I read that I never got to log because I've been unorganized / year and lately. Oh yeah, I read a little bit of Paris Letters. I was like, there's a dialogue to be had about this type of stuff, but I just don't have the energy to get into it. I don't. We all know. We live in the same world, so we all are aware. I don't feel like we have to keep talking about the same thing over and over again that we all know. Murder in Postscript. I started reading this and never got to finish it. I started it around November, December. No, earlier than that. Around October, November. Same thing with Paris Letters. Around October, November. And I never finished them. Because around the holidays, I tend to get into other things. And I can't keep up with the books that I'm reading. So around the end of the year, I kind of stop. And I start doing other things. And I also wanted to relax because I was working throughout the whole year. And you know, the holidays is when you want to just chill. You don't really indulge in much media. I watch and read and do less during the holidays. I'm sleeping all the time and resting, so I didn't read as much. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Those all the books that I read last year, for the most part. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. This video is long enough. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Try to find something else to film today. All right, that's it. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think about these books, or if you don't care, if anybody is even watching this, because we already know how YouTube feel about me. So yeah, deuces, triple dub.